Welcome to Trading Lounge and the SP 500 for the 25th of September. So we've had this sharp drop here. As you know, we were looking, well, I was looking for a move going higher from this point here. So I certainly got that wrong and the market dropped down. Hopefully that you're short below that 2,995 area that we've been talking about all this week here. But if you're not, that's okay. Let's go in and have a look at this. So there is a possibility. Well, one of the first things I want to mention is this move here for this B wave here on the cash market. It's actually higher than that. Right, so it's, and also too, it looks like it's in 3 waves here, but on the cash market it's actually 5 waves. This was also the rollover for the futures market as well on that day, the 19th and 20th there, the 20th. So it's possible to actually have this here as wave 4 here and wave 5 here, and having a top in here and having a deeper correction in here, and we'll talk about that. But at the moment, let's just look at this possibility here where we've got 5 waves down through to here. So we could call this wave 1 and wave 2 here, pulling back 60 odd %. And then obviously a strong wave 3 here, a wave 4 and a wave 5 here. So a move down to the 2950 area. And also to this week too, I'd been talking about this particular level here. If this becomes the retested resistance, then we have a deeper market pulling into place at that point. Yeah, let's just see how this treats this level here first, this 2950. And also too, when a market comes down to it, it normally bounces off it, goes through it, then comes back up and then can move off from that point. So the short trade at that point would be that low here, and then that retest. If that fails, that retest would be on lower volume, so you can check that on the cash or the futures, then a move down from that point. So just be mindful, but we'll look at this when we get to this particular point here. The market's oversold at the moment, so we'll see a rally moving higher from this low here. We'll see how that goes. Now, so there is this picture of wave 3 and wave 4 here and going up for wave 5. And a B wave can take the top out here. So that's okay being a B wave here. Otherwise, we've got wave 4 here and wave 5 sitting here. But on a deeper move down through here, if we went to have a look at, say, the daily chart here, it would be like this here with an A wave here, a B wave up here, and then a C wave down through here. And that's the 2950 here. As you can see, it's like support coming into this play over here. So this is resistance here, would be a rejection of the 3000 at that point, and also would see further downside from that point there. So moving into that here on, say, the 4-hour chart, looking at that move up there, it could be countered like this here with an A wave here, an A wave here, then an A and a B, and a C wave here for the B wave, and then 1 and 2 here, and then 5 waves up here for the 3rd wave, the 4th wave here, and the 5th wave here, remembering that this top here was the high on the cash market, the physical market. And that would give us a nice clean 5 waves here for C of B here, and then would be looking down here further, down here for the C wave here. So in this case here, we would also need to see, we know that we've got 5 waves in this first little leg here, then wave 2, wave 3 here, so we can look at wave 4 and then wave 5 down here, and then the A, the B and the C wave for wave 2, and then a stronger move down for wave 3, 4 and 5 coming into this space here. So we, first of all, before we can acknowledge this move down, what we can do here is that if we get 5 waves, see in this first wave here, if we get 5 waves in this move here, then we can also look at that being, if there's 5 waves here, then we'll look at another 5 waves over here. But I don't want to call, normally when we get 5 waves from the top here, then we get a correction, then another 5 waves, but we could also look at this too as the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave coming down to this point here. So we just need to be a little bit careful. But if we see this move coming up here, then we'll pay a lot of, well, we always pay a lot of attention, but we'll be looking for a 3-wave move here. But a 3-wave move and a 5-wave move are pretty hard to decipher unless the first move here is in 3 waves, which would be unlikely for a wave 2 because it would be a 5-3-5 structure here. But we would be able to see a breach in a move down at that point. So we should be able to get this move here if it breaches the impulse wave to the upside here. So this is a bigger bearish picture, and this is one of our original counts that we've had. It's just that the market's climbed so high here, and the market in its own little way now has sort of slipped away from the 3000. It hasn't made group 2 in here, which is 65, 72 and 80. It hasn't made it hasn't made that as the resistance yet. So, but it's looking likely that it sort of rejected it at this particular point. As I mentioned, the move down here would be oversold at this particular point in time as well. If we just have a look at, I mean, I don't normally use indicators, but a stochastics has always been a good indicator to work with Elliott because of the turning points and the wave structures. And the gentleman that invented this, the stochastics here, he day traded the George Lane, was it? I think it was George Lane. I can't remember now, but he invented the stochastics, and he was trading the SP500 with Elliott wave. So that's what he did. So that's what he used it for. And but anyway, down here we can see that it's breached quite low through here. So we can sort of look and expect some sort of rally to move up in that instance there. Yeah, George Lane, yeah, that's right, I think. So yeah, so now we need to look at this particular structure here. So I'll do that on the tick chart here. So let me just get in a few more things here. So from the top here, we can look at it as wave B here or wave 2 here. Okay, so counting this down here, I can count this as wave 1 here and 2 here, and then in blue here, wave 1 and 2 here. I won't go into all of this here, but the third wave down here, an A and a B and a C here for wave 4. And wave 4 fits quite nicely from the wave 2 high here to wave 3. So it comes in at the 38.2% quite nicely here. So that does that nicely. The only thing I don't like about this is that the wave 5 here hasn't made a new low below wave 3 here. Not that it doesn't have to, but it also counts quite nicely down as 5 waves here in terms of 1, little 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bit of overlapping, but it's cool. 2, and then, well, it'll be 3, 4, 5 for the third wave here, and then the fourth wave here, then 1, ABC for 2, 3, 4, 5. So we do get a nice 5-wave structure here. It's just that it doesn't make a new low here. So there's a little bit of a question mark to that. So the other way to look at that too is that if this was 5 waves down here, then that means that could also be wave 1 here and coming back for wave 2 here. This little move in here is corrective in here, as you can see. So that means that we will make a new high here, and that's roughly about the 61.8%. This is group 2, by the way, 65, 72 and 80 here. So this price action playing out in here, if it drops down, I mean if it drops out of this down in here, then we know that the 3000 is being rejected at that time. But also too, we know that the market's oversold. So if this is 5 waves down here, then the target area is back up here for this. Okay, so that means that this in here would be some sort of A, B, and C coming into this particular space here. I just need to put that there to bring that across there the time that gets there. So we could be looking at an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave rally here. If this, just by the by, if this is wave 1 here and wave 2 here, right, then we can go look to short under the 2965 area here. That's why I've got that here, because then it shouldn't be breached at that point. So if the 2965 becomes the retested resistance, you can short that and take it down to the 2950. There will be a bounce off this that can take it back to the 60, so be mindful of that, but that can be a little trade in here. Otherwise, if this is correct here, then this 5 waves down here will see an A and a B and a C wave back into this space here. In terms of counting this up through here, I'm just a little bit unsure about this in here. I don't know if that's, it looks like a 3rd wave to this point here, and then an A and a B and a C wave to here. I'm a little bit unsure of, oh, well, that can also be counted. That's corrective to this point. So 1, ABC for 2, 3, 4, 5. So, yeah, anyway, we should make a new high here. So, well, 1 and 2 here, 3, 4, and 5 here. So really, realistically, that could be the A wave here, the B wave here, and the C wave coming up here. So we can bring that back here. And in that case, then I'll just copy this here. Would be wave 1 up here, wave 2 coming back here. There'll be 5 waves in the C wave. That's what I'm trying to point out here. There'll be 5 waves in that C wave coming into this space here. And that will probably dance across that level there. That will be up into here. So that's probably the case. So, but I'll just leave that one there. Don't need that one. If that gets support here, if the 72 gets support, then this wave 1 and wave 2 back to here would be wouldn't be there anymore. And that looks like it's going to be the case. It needs to move up there. Right, so all in all, then we're looking for an A and a B and a C wave up through here. A lot of the time, the length of the A wave will equal wave C as well. So it may not get all the way up there. The idea would be to count, if this gets support, if 72 gets support here, then you'd count 5 waves up the best you can at that point. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and so on. Alrighty, I'll just leave it at that there for the moment. Cheers.